Only a white male of Newt Gingrich's age and background would not understand what Sonia Sotomayor was trying to say when she said, "I would hope that a wise Latina woman with the richness of her experiences would more often than not reach a better conclusion than a white male who hasn't lived that life." The tendency for me anyway is to break it down and spoon feed it to the serial adulterer, Newt Gingrich, this white man who has never experienced a goddamn thing in his life that wasn't pretty much handed to him. He's been on the public at the public trough, slopping and eating for probably all of his adult life. He grew up on military installations. He never served in the military, but his father did, or his stepfather did. So just about every piece of food that ever went into his mouth was paid for with taxpayer money. His schooling was paid for by taxpayers. He worked as a college professor at a public university, more taxpayer money. Was a member of Congress, Speaker of the House, until he had to resign in shame, more taxpayer money. So for Newt Gingrich to try to stack his white man experience up against any person of color, any place on earth, and declare himself equal to or better than, or even worse, to declare that the statement comparing her experiences and his is somehow racism, is just breathtakingly dumbass comment. I mean, it really is. But again, Laura Ingraham and Ann Coulter and Rush Limbaugh and the rest of these pigs have absolutely nowhere to go with this nomination. Nowhere to go. In the first place, after kind of a half-assed attempt to con Spanish-speaking people in this country into becoming Republicans, that went over real well, didn't it? How's that going for you, boys, huh? Having tried to convince any people of color to or any racial makeup other than white to join the Republican Party has been another huge bust. Ask Michael Steele, who thinks he is going to rap talk his way into convincing black folk, really, Michael, into joining Republican. After all these failures, the white right in this country is now faced with a body slam from Barack Obama. A female Latina woman. Let's not even look at the fact that she graduated second in her class at Princeton. I think she graduated summa cum laude with highest praise. White House Press Secretary Robert Gibbs advised that people involved in the debate over her nomination should be careful with their language. He said, quote, "I think we're satisfied that when the people of America and the people of the Senate get a chance to look at more than just the blog of a former lawmaker, that would be Gingrich, that they'll come to the same conclusion that the president did. I think when people get a chance to look at her record, I feel certain that partisan politics will take a back seat to common sense and open-minded decisions based on a full examination of her record. And I think that's what every Supreme Court and every judicial nominee deserves," end quote. Well, that's nice, Robert, and I'm glad you are still treating Republicans as if they were more than 30% human. Or cared a tinker's damn about this country. That's nice. It's nice that you can do that. It's nice that Brock can do that. And Eric Holder and the rest of you folks, you just continue treating these subhumans as though they had equal footing where it concerns genetic distribution of human genes. Gibbs also added, after he mentioned that Sotomayor was highly qualified and of keen intellect, Gibbs added, quote, "I've heard a lot of people in the last couple of days. They mention intellect. I'm not entirely sure where people that make that argument, what number they graduated in their class at Princeton, but my sense is it's not second." End quote. Touché. Touché, dumbasses. That's French. And again, Sotomayor was appointed as a judge on the U.S. District Court in Manhattan by George Herbert Werbert Bush in 1992 and went to the appellate court. Clinton appointed her in, 93? Later on in the 90s. Oh, yeah, Republicans also seized on comments Sotomayor made at a Duke University Law School panel 4 years ago, saying these remarks show she is a liberal activist. Are you ready? Quote, all of the legal defense funds out there, they're looking for people with Court of Appeals experience because it is courts of appeals where policy is made, end quote. And then she added, and I know this is on tape, and I should never say that because we don't make law. I know, I'm not promoting it, and I'm not advocating it. It's just where it happens. But you see, the second part of that quote is the right-wing thugs are leaving off. They're saying, see, she thinks she's a liberal activist. No, you dumbasses. What she said was on the appeals court level. That's where law seems to be made, and it shouldn't be that way. In other words, she's saying, I'm not that way. Oh, and a top Republican on the Senate Judiciary Committee, Senator Jeff Sessions, he had something to say about all this, and we'll share that with you when we come back.